Hello all, I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary, and today we're going to be looking at how pages, chapters, and parts works in Reedsy Studio. Now, continuing with my example from the last video, we're going to be looking at a manuscript that I have saved in the bookshelf in Reedsy. And first, we're going to take a look at how chapters work. And in this case, you can see that I have the default for copyright and table of contents. Now, those are going to show up no matter what book you create as kind of a default setting for Reedsy Studio. They are the two most important parts of your book. Well, aside from the story. Now, the copyright page is a template that you can use if you'd like. You put in your pen name or your author name, the edition of the book, your publication, your ISBNs. Now, you got to be careful later on when I cover exporting for Amazon that you have to put the free ISBN in the correct place. Otherwise, Amazon will kick it back out to you. So we'll go over that later on, but this is where you'd put the number that you get from Amazon for free. Or you can buy your own. ISBNs are relatively cheap. You can buy 1,000 at a time, but we'll cover that later on. Here in the copyright page, you also have the publisher name if you have one, the logo, again, if you have one, any collaborators you'd like to add to the book. So if you wrote it with several other people, you can add them here. And then you have the clauses. The all rights reserved clause is automatic. You can uncheck that if you'd like. Then you have clauses for fiction, moral rights, external content, designations, and additional clauses. And in here, I wrote not written by AI, which you see a lot of indie publishers or indie writers, authors rather, doing more and more of because, well, we want to announce when we don't use AI to write any part of our book. And even then, you get people that'll accuse you of writing because you use an M dash or that you properly know how to use a comma. Well, that's a rant for another day. Now, when you come across your chapters, I wrote this one as a default, whatever this is. Whatever you write here is your title, will automatically update in Reedsy in the manuscript on the left. And up here above it, you got the number 1. That is the chapter number that I mentioned in an earlier video about when you format, Reedsy gives you the option to remove those chapter numbers from this page. That's what it's talking about, is that number 1. Now, you don't have to, but if your chapters are like chapter 1 and there's one above it, it's kind of redundant. Now, when you upload your manuscript, Reedsy should be able to separate things fairly well. I haven't had much of a problem from importing from docx or ODT files, but sometimes it can happen, and sometimes you might need to split a chapter. How that works is that you go to the split chapter page, click it, and then you can put your cursor anywhere where you want the chapter to split, usually between paragraphs. At which point, you just click on the confirm split, give the chapter a new title. So we'll say chapter 2, 32, chapter 2 goodness, and hit split chapter. As you can see on the left, it created a whole new chapter and it brought me rather, to this new chapter so I can continue writing. Whenever you split a chapter in any one of the chapters on the left, it's going to add the chapter right after that entry. So if I split this one again, it'll add it right underneath this one between whatever this is and chapter 2 goodness. But what if you got the chapters in the wrong order? Well, you can always grab it with the drag and drop tool and move the chapters anywhere you want. Reedsy will automatically reassign what chapter 1, 2, and 3 are, and you're good to go. So a lot of what Reedsy Studio does is automated for your convenience. So I want to put this back up to chapter 1, reorganizes it, and in the table of contents, it shows it correctly. Of course, if you want to play around with it, you can always drag that to the bottom, and you can see in the contents that it automatically adjusted. So I'm going to put that back where it was. So moving chapters and pages using the 6 dots on the right of the chapter title, you can move them anywhere. So if I want to grab this and put it in the back matter, I could. And Reedsy will automatically put it in italics because that's what back matter usually is for industry standards. But we can always move it back to where it was supposed to go. Okay, so what if you want to add a chapter manually so that like we're done writing this one, we want chapter 4. We go up here on the top and we can add a new chapter or a new part. Now we'll go over parts here in a minute, but let's add a new chapter and it'll put it right after our latest entry and we can start with chapter 4. Oops. And then we can keep writing. Anytime that you say, like we selected chapter 1, we add a chapter here, it's going to put it right after chapter 1. What if we accidentally created one and we need to delete it? Well, let's make sure that's selected. We go over here to the right for delete chapter, and then we click delete, and it's gone. Want to make sure that you don't click on the trash can on the left. Now, this trash can on the left of Reedsy Studio is for your entire manuscript. If you want to just delete pages and chapters, and it's over here on the right. Just make sure that you have the correct one selected, that you're in it. So like if I wanted to delete chapter 4, well, that's gone. Okay, so let's take a look at pages. You got your front matter in Reedsy Studio. You have dedication, epigraph, forward, preface, and acknowledgements. This is done by clicking on the edit button. And these are all templates that are designed to give you that specific page. So let's say if we wanted to write an epigraph, we can either enable it with the switch or just click on it. It'll automatically add the page. And then we can add our epigraph. If we don't want it, we just simply turn it off. Now that's for the front matter. We also have body pages. So you have the prologue and introduction. Prologue, you'll probably use more than any of them if you do prologues. I know some authors don't. I started doing them, kind of like an opening to the book itself. And then after all the chapters, you have conclusion, the epilogue, and the afterword. These are the pages that usually come after the story. So when we're done with that, we just turn that off. And then the back matter consists usually of just the notes about the author, and then you also have also by your author name. Now, if you enable this one, or you can click into it, you can see that I already started adding my books to it. Now, this is also by Michael Brockman. You give a brief description, the screen or the book cover. You got your title, the description, and for ebooks, you can add store links. So your PDF, Apple, Kindle, Kobo, Barnes & Noble Press, and Google Play. Now, these are obviously not going to work that well in print or hardcover copies, which is why a lot of people don't include the links in those versions of the book. But you can add as many books as you want. You just click on this little plus sign, and you can keep adding your entire library if you'd like. But you don't want to add too many because you don't want the back half of your book being like thick with all the titles that you've written. I would suggest adding books that are relevant to the story. So like this is Shadows of Atlantic City. If I had any more dark westerns, I would throw it in there. Since I don't, I'm going to throw in Fury and Kingmaker. But I wouldn't include A Freelancer's Tale because that's an autobiography. It has nothing to do with fantasy or dark western. But that's personal preference. You can add pretty much whatever you want. And if you added too many like I just did, you just click on remove, and it removes it completely from the list. And then the author, about the author page is similar. You can add your photo of your author photo. I usually use the one that's on the back cover of the book. You can write in your bio, and then you can put your social media links. Again, these work for ebook, and so they can just tap it and go straight to the link. They don't work so much. They don't work well for print and hardcover. I still leave them in there. That way people can research it if they want. I also added a link to my newsletter, which is the Substack that I try to write weekly on. That's in there as well. But you don't have to just stick with your website URL, Twitter, or Facebook. You can add as many URLs to this as you want. Usually I add WriterSanctuary, and I think that was it. I think I just added WriterSanctuary to it with social links. But if you don't want your About the Author page, just turn it off. Now, these page templates cannot be moved like you can with chapters. So like if we turn this on, we can't grab it and move it anywhere else. That's where it is. And it'll show up in order of how it is in Reedsy here on the left of your manuscript. It'll show up in that order in your book. So we'll close these out. What about creating a page that doesn't exist in Reedsy? What if you want a glossary? Well, that's easy enough. You just click on the add. We're going to add a chapter. We're going to go into that chapter and we're going to change it to glossary. And then we can add whatever glossary terms we want to the book. Now, if you don't want the chapter number up here to show, or perhaps you just want it at the back to make sure that the glossary remains at the back of the book, you can drag and drop it to the back matter. So when you turn on the edit screen, it'll add the glossary and whatever custom pages you make for the back. It'll add it before the About the Author and the Also By pages. because you can't move them anywhere else. And you can also add pages to this. Say we want something that is in the very, very beginning of the book. Let's say we want additional acknowledgments. I don't know if I spelled, no, I didn't. And there we go. Okay, so with additional acknowledgments, we can move this all the way to the front matter, just like that. And again, when we click on edit, it'll put any pages you created after everything that's already set up in Reedsy. And if we don't want the additional acknowledgments, remember we have it selected. We go over to the delete chapter button, click it, delete, and it's gone. So now let's go ahead and close these out. Okay, so what about creating parts? Now, parts are a little bit different. You would add a part for if you're changing perspectives in a storyline, or if you're adding time jumps that are massive. So like starting off in 1980 and then a new part that happens in 1990. Perhaps you have some major milestones in the plot that change, that shifts dramatically, like maybe someone becomes a king. So parts aren't absolutely necessary, but they can help keep things organized. So if you want to add a part, we just click on the button, add a new part, and by default, part 1 is going to add all of your chapters underneath it. And then when we want to write part 2, we add chapters just like we normally would. We have the part 2 selected, click on the add button, add a new chapter. It's going to add the next chapter under part 2. Now you want to be careful, because if you decide you don't want to do parts, if you select it and you try to delete it, you have an option here. You can either delete the one chapter that's in that part as well, or you can have it, or you can choose to leave that chapter intact and just delete the part, so it just flows into one big book. So you can select, we want to move the chapter from part 2 to part 1 so that we don't lose it, but we just erase the part. So make sure that's selected correctly and hit delete. Okay, so what if we don't want part 1? Well, we do the same thing. We highlight part 1, click on the delete part, and then from here we can choose to delete all 4 chapters, which would be horrible if you just spent all that time writing a book. Or we can choose to keep the chapters in the body, which is what you probably should do, and hit delete. Just remember that if you chose to delete all 4 parts, it will wipe out your manuscript. Luckily, you can use the writing timeline, and you can go back to an earlier version and restore it however you had it. So it's not permanently lost, it's just kind of a pain in the ass and it could probably freak you out. The writing timeline is going to be your friend. So we're going to exit out of that. And that essentially wraps it up. Those are pages, chapters, and parts and how they work in Reedsy Studio. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can play around. You can add things that aren't in there by default. Reedsy tries to fill out all the most common pages that most authors will ever use, and so that's what's in there. But like I said, if you need a glossary or anything special, if you're writing a science paper or a science book or an educational material, you might want a page for sources, and so you can create a whole page with that. So there's a lot of different things you can do with just adding a chapter and then changing the title of the page to fit your needs. So pages, chapters, and parts are relatively easy to set up and manage in Reedsy. Just make sure you're deleting the correct things. But if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. For more videos about self-publishing, blogging, freelance writing, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think it's going to do it for me today. I'm going to go be prepping part 4 to this series. I'll see you next time.